Well, everybody, you might be wondering why I'm playing Rygar for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and you might also be wondering why I appear to have age regressed about 12 years. Well, these are just mysteries, I suppose, that we'll have to deal with. But really, on tonight's episode, let's just be clear. Rygar is an old classic because it's like all NES games. It's really difficult. But it's not that difficult because there's all these weirdos on the internet who have so much intense, what we would call Gaia Earth magic power, that they can do things like play through old Nintendo games like Gradius in one go without losing any lives. How do you even do that? Well, the only way to do that is actually to have what we would call extreme psychokinetic power. Well, psychokinetic ESP, psychic power, the ability to have a mind that works in ways that minds do not work in other civilizations in the cosmos. Because it takes a mind that powerful to be able to do something like play a game like Gradius, or I can think of a lot of other ones, unbelievably difficult games, in one go. And you see that on the internet, like it's nothing. You see people like, I'm going to beat this particular ridiculous side-scrolling game that came out 25 years ago, and I'm going to do it in one sitting. You know, some of those skills are so unbelievable. It's one of the reasons that our whole civilization has been under a magnifying glass by so many extraterrestrial groups over so long, because of this concept of Earth Gaia magic power and what it means. So I wasn't sure. Let's see, what's this guy say? Above here, the skies of Rolsa is a floating castle. And see, I wasn't sure what I was going to make this video about, and then I'm like, well, actually, that's one of the best things to talk about, because it solves a lot of mysteries. It also solves riddles about our lives here on Earth and why it's such an enigma with the people that we know in our lives, who sometimes just have such incredible power. So with my career as someone who does mental syncing, what that means is that I'm in communication directly with so many different groups, and I'm dead. So I can't do two things at once so well. I don't quite have that kind of, let's call it Gaia Earth magic power that others have. Some people have it so intensely that they can do things that again would confound friends in space, like just a very level of multitasking power that some of our minds have is extraordinary. I first noticed this really when I was I'm going to get out of here because I need a grappling hook to cross that ledge. I first noticed this probably when I was working in the service industry, and I was working as a busser. And what I came to find while I was a busser is that, you have people who come to work in a restaurant, they don't even know the menu, and after one day they've memorized the entire menu. They can provide customer service, they can check people out, cash people out, they can handle a million things at once, keep the place clean, do the managed boss's jobs, sometimes be cooking and preparing things, cutting the dessert, doing 15 jobs at once with virtually no experience at it. And they do it like it's nothing. And I always knew, see, these things are creeping me out. I'm not paying full attention to what I'm doing. And I'm going to get my ass kicked by those trees. Because, I would see things like that, right? And basically, I think I need to go back. I'm trying to remember where to go in this game. I would see things like that and think to myself, I am just not adequate. Because, when you get a job and the job requirement says multitasking, what does that actually mean? When you hear a boss say you have to be good at multitasking and you're on this planet, oh, you're in big trouble. It means you have to be able to take on 15 different jobs with no experience in what those jobs are, perform them effortlessly, or you could be in trouble and get fired. Well, that's not good. But that's pretty much what working life is, especially in the service industry. My contacts, and many of them include Aldebaran extraterrestrials, because again, I use what I would call high-level mental syncing power. What I come to find is that they basically say life on this crazy little planet is a complete enigma, because they can't do things like that. They can't operate things at once. Like they can't. An average Aldebaran human living out there among the Aldebaran star system has no ability to even come close to what we can do. Of course, in our world, it's a standard. It's considered like if you can't do this, then you're not a good worker. And then we also combine that with a very cruel culture. This is where we go into topics like the cabal and the machine and the system in place that created a culture based upon cruelty, which sounds strange. It sounds a bit extreme, but no, there's a lot of cruelty out there. Cruelty likes to mask itself under the guise of a lot of that new age false light teaching stuff. It's like, well, evil is not real. It's only negativity and positivity, like says a very amazing poster in my group recently, stirring up some hell, trying to tell people that it doesn't matter if you Pol Pot, Lenin, Mao, or Ted Bundy. There's no such thing as evil. It's just, it's like it's a theater. We're playing roles. Some lives we're playing the good guy. Some lives we're playing the bad guy. So people hide and mask behind those types of new age deceptions. Ooh boy. Let's see, this tree is coming after me. And what they do is, they incorporate that into their working lives, and then you end up with bosses who are watching you under a magnifying glass. You make one mistake, they're looking at you sideways. I used to work as a dishwasher at a Japanese restaurant, and my boss was literally comparing me to another dishwasher and like trying to size me up based upon my efficiency. So like this other dishwasher could actually wash dishes like 1.5 minutes faster by the clock than I could. And so it's called competitive performance, everybody, okay? It's called being a professional. So no, what she was doing is deciding, am I going to fire this guy and get this guy? Because it's about being a professional, and it's about having the best possible business, and it's just business. Well, I didn't get fired. I quit because I ended up, I think I'm going to take a leak over the edge of this. Right here I go. Well, that didn't happen. I quit because I ended up traveling into Europe, studying in France, doing other things back then. But just working as a dishwasher, I was part of this weird competitive, I would say evil system where you are under watch about how well you perform. Meanwhile, because of this thing called Gaia Earth magic power, we have the ability to actually, let's see if I can actually fight this guy. We have the ability to do things that out in the cosmos wouldn't even be possible. And that includes even down to the most fundamental, the way that somebody can work a job, no experience, understand everything in the restaurant, memorize the entire menu, handle, as one waiter, handle 8 different tables at once, being able to memorize all their orders, get it all right perfectly while dealing with customers, getting on their asses, complaining the whole time, and expecting them to perform even better, while this employee who's able to perform all of this does it effortlessly, sometimes with no job training experience, no prior training experience as a waiter or waitress. I have seen all this happen before. Come in there and then get criticized by the boss because there's another waiter or waitress who does it all more efficiently, and going home crying, wondering if you're going to lose your job to outside cosmic extraterrestrial forces. This is considered a combination between paranormal and insanity. Now, keep in mind, what you learn from this channel is that we are what's called a low-density planet. The realms we go into are higher density, higher energy realities and higher universes where rules are different than here. Even with all that, think about how much power we have. Earth, or Gaia, is a world of power. That's why the Anunnaki came here. That's why the Anunnaki actually created a little city called Atlantis. Why? Because it's about studying that Earth magic power that most of us possess. My earth magic power is the ability to synchronize my thoughts almost anywhere. And I think I'm good at writing. Apparently that's me. But I do not have the earth magic power other people have to play a game like Rygar and actually be able to easily beat, like get through it and, on one go. Like those crazy people on the internet who play like the most difficult games imaginable and they just, kick ass at it. I'm bad at the directions, like even now I think I'm lost. So I don't have those powers, which means I could get judged. I could end up losing jobs and be considered not as efficient because we're a culture that worships greed and money. A lot of this is because of the mafias, and those mafias that have supreme control over our reality. We call them the cabal, but they set up a system where we worship money, we worship the golden calf. And so it's about efficiency. Even though we are unbelievably efficient and powerful with our minds, we're never going to really match up to those on top. And that's what it's about. It's about competing. And if you run a restaurant, you should best run that restaurant in the spirit of the golden calf. And go out there and be ready to fire that dishwasher if he or she doesn't perform to your standards, because it's about being a professional, okay? It's about professionalism. It's about having the best resume, and it's about just doing what it takes to be number one, because we're in it to win it, okay? If you don't believe it, just buy a self-help book written by a sports coach, because they know what's up. Okay, so as I was saying, well, let's go through this door and see what we have. Meet the 5 war gods of Endora to acquire. Okay. See, I don't know where I'm going because I don't have a cosmic Gaia Earth mind where I can play this game 12 years ago or 15 years ago and remember where to go. Other people can. Other people can play this. Other people can look at a map, recognize every single spot immediately, know where to go, and then use those skills in a professional working life context and still get fired because they're not as efficient as somebody else. So that is the bizarre reality that we live in, unfortunately. So as I was saying, I guess the important points to keep in mind is that, we are this anomaly. We're a low density planet, which means that, we're all clueless. People don't know. I can't cross here, can I? Nope. Like, we're all clueless. I'm going to go back up and kill that tree guy again and go back that direction. We're all clueless, basically, about the realities of where we go. We've been infused by materialism and programming and physicalism to make us think there's nothing beyond this life, which is bogus. And we're also confused about natures of divinity, what's really out there, and where we go when we die. Because, what's out there are higher density universes, and, I'm going to my next video is going to be talking about this misconception about the astral plane. You don't want to go to the astral plane. You don't necessarily want to go into the light either. When we die, and there's so many near-death experiences that talk about this, when we die, we have opportunities to go into a higher reality cosmos where I would say it's like a magical reality. The Aldebarans, who I've been in contact with for so long now, their lives can look like our lives, with streets and traffic and just normal buildings and cars, but there is still that element of being a higher reality, and we're slowly working our way towards that. But there's so many amazing places, and we can reach those places as we sleep, because it's not astral projection that we're doing most of the time. It's called soul manifestation. Oh, cool. I'm going to save the game real quick. There we go. That's a nice thing about playing this on ROM, because again, I'm not such a powerful Gaia Earth mind, so I can't, navigate this stuff as well as others can. Okay, ooh, I don't want to go there. As I was saying, we get it wrong a lot. Ooh, I found it, the grappling weapon. This is what I was looking for. You see, I was confused because this part of the map looks the same as another part of the map because I'm just not efficient. I'm not a real professional. If I were a real professional, I would have already understood where it all was. And there's a boss somewhere watching me play, and it's like, well, Cyrus, you're not quite what we were looking for in this company, Cyrus, because Joshua over here, he can navigate this game a lot faster than you can. So the point is, these higher density civilizations, we access them sometimes when we sleep because we have spirit guides who take us up to these worlds. It's called soul travel because our soul manifests. It's like we're down here. How do I use this? What am I missing? Okay, it's like never mind. I don't think maybe that's not the grappling hook. Maybe I need to use something else. I need to use I don't know. Anyway, so again, I can't multitask what other people can do. That's just my issue. Anyway, so it's called soul manifestation. So it's like we have that power because it's usually our spirit teams who take us into these other worlds to show us things and teach us lessons that we can try to bring back into our world. Now, do we do it? No. We generally don't because our world's culture is so extremely sticky and demanding and just omnipresent, and it's very difficult to crack through that. Actually, it's very difficult. So you end up in this weird situation where it's like some of these civilizations that watch us consider this whole low density planet where people are just sort of lost in this daze with extreme mental power and unbelievable psychic levels of power, but under this horrible system of control. And in this horrible system of control, people don't realize that even this corporate culture we live in is an anomaly. You would not find it in Aldebaran human civilization a work culture like that. People don't work 40 hours a week, they work 20 hours a week, and that's enough money to buy a house. In a culture like that, you're not going to be judged because someone is more efficient than you, because it's a communal culture. Now, the Aldebarans, they helped colonize our planet. The people who are Hispanic are actually direct descendants of Aldebaran colonies. The Aldebarans actually were the ones responsible for a city in Turkey called Göbekli Tepe. You should probably have heard about that place. If not, Google it. Because they are one of the real ancient aliens. But, they consider our culture to be manic, depressive, controlling, cruel, and, absolutely corrupt. So, with that said, what do we do about this? Well, we have Gaia Earth power in us. There's a lot that we can do. What's in here? Yes. I think this is where I need to be. Now, since I have my grappling hook. Right, oh, there it is. Yeah, that's how I do it. So, so we have that Gaia Earth power in us. And what we have to do is wake up and just realize that we can move beyond this. We can get out of this low density universe that we're stuck in, and we can move up and be a galactic neighbor of these guys and many others. There's problems out in the higher cosmos. Don't even get me started on the Ashtar. You'll find the Ashtari all over the internet being channeled by this guy and this person. The Ashtari civilization, serious issues known about across the cosmos. I call them the Space Russians. Or maybe more appropriately, it's the Space Soviets. But still, even an Ashtari civilization, looking at us and how we handle our civilization and how we treat each other, it's serious what the fuck territory. Okay, good, I just got a potion. Okay, so, with that said, this is The Great Cosmic Shift. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet. It really, really helps. I have a book coming out called The Cosmic Shift of Mankind. And that's going to feature channeled messages from, well, I've got some big names coming up. You guys saw Oscar Wilde here. How about Emanuel Swedenborg? We have Monsieur Hugh Benson from a book called Life in the World Unseen. We are channeling Jules Verne, actually, as well as a host of others, including an archangel at the end. And it's going to be a compendium, as well as those within the magical spectrum of life, including a fairy named Mooncha, and many others, as well as a full cosmic recount of like the histories out in the densities, how it all came to be. Whether it's the story behind, like the story behind the Ashtari, how it all happened, what's really happening in the cosmos, and with all this, all the extraterrestrial lore on this planet, my book is going to reveal what all of that is. And when is it coming out? I would say in approximately 1 month. So it's called The Cosmic Shift of Mankind, my third feature book. And how do you pre-order it? Well, just keep in mind this channel, or shoot me an email at cosmicshiftawakening@gmail.com, or let me know what you think. And in the meantime, you can join us at Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics on Facebook. If you're here from Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics on YouTube, well, that channel is inaccessible because my account was hacked. Come here instead. If you want to help this channel, you can donate, join the Patreon at patreon.com/Afterlife Topics. Or also, you can go on Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics on YouTube, leave a comment, and help let people know about this channel. Do keep in mind that that comment feed probably has a lot of trolls because it's unmoderated. People with a bone to pick, people with ideological differences, people making crap up. Where does this go? Appears I have found a secret. Well, it's not a secret. Oh my god, this guy's coming after me. Okay, so so you can go on Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics, and from there, leave a comment, let people know. There's a lot of older content on that channel, but also the Facebook group. I have like major channelings coming out. I'll be channeling actually a whole bunch of very interesting people through clairaudient telepathy. I have guides on the Reddit page, as well as on the Facebook Afterlife Topics about using clairaudience and telepathy. Very interesting corroborating evidence and posts by people on there communicating to my same team, including the same exact characters that I talk to, kind of corroborating everything together, integrating the collective consciousness and all of that. Well, let's play this a little bit more and see if we can see where this goes. Ooh, okay, so that, oh my god, that's the last level out there. That's Rygar's castle. Okay, what's in here? You must meet blah 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 blah. Yeah, so anyway, so I don't think I'm supposed to be here, and I'm probably gonna die soon. So alright. So shit. Okay guys, it's been fun. I'm out. Game over, and talk to you guys next time.